Today, I'm going to show you how to build and automate anything in one click using Manus AI. Now, this is a new AI agent that's just come out from China. It is absolutely unbelievable what it can do. For example, in one click, I just said, research Julian Goldie, build and deploy the best possible website you can about him. It went off, it did all its magic, browsed the internet, created the files, coded it, ran the terminal, and then we've got the website deployed and ready to go right there. Boom shakalaka. And this website is better than any other agent that I've seen build out websites. You can see, for example, the content is comprehensive. It's personalized to me. This can also, for example, plan out whole trips. So I said plan a trip to Lower Manhattan in June. And this AI agent came back with better research than any other human that I've hired, right? It's absolutely terrifying how powerful this AI agent is. And it does everything in one click. You just say, do this. It's like, sure, mate, I'll do it. And I'll get it done right away. Like you can see, the tasks are actually executed almost perfectly. Here's another example. So we asked it to create and deploy the best and most useful tool you can for my SEO agency, Goldie Agency. This is for lead generation. It can also work on multiple tasks at once. So for example, if we give this a prompt, and then we give this a prompt, it's like having a team of AI agents just go off and to build and deploy and automate things for you at the same time. So you can build like an army of people. There was a video going viral of like 50 screens at once being used using this process. And on top of that, you might be wondering, okay, why and how is this different to everything else? Well, number one, it can fully control web browsers. It can create downloadable files in the chat. It can deploy websites from single prompts. It can perform deep research faster than competitors. It can browse the web for you, and it can host directly to subdomains like you can see right here. So this is the tool that we ask it to create in one single prompt. If you go to the dashboard inside the SaaS tool that we created, I mean, how much money would it take you to create something like this? Or how much time or effort or energy would it take you? Or how long would it take you to find someone who can actually create something like this in the space of minutes? A lot, right? Whereas this is just deployed and ready to go, and we've got a full-blown SaaS software plus a front end plus the actual homepage for the website ready to go. Right? That's how powerful this is. So finally got access to a Manus AI with an invitation code, and you can see I've got access directly in the dashboard right here. I know like literally hundreds of people have reached out to me asking like how to get access, and you can see we have access right here. I've actually run it through a few different tests today already, and it is looking absolutely awesome. Let me show you an example of this. So here's a website we actually created and deployed directly in the chat. And I just gave it one single prompt, and this AI agent just went off and created the whole website about me. It even did the research. It's created the about me pages. The design is better than, things I've seen created with Claude and things I've seen with, for example, like Bolt.new as well. And also, we'll be comparing it side by side versus DeepSeek as well. But it is unbelievable from what I've seen. So, for example, if we click on the about me page here, it's created like a really nice website, and literally all we did inside the chat here was just say research Julian Goldie, then build and deploy the best possible website you can about him. And you can see I'll run you through like the whole chat and how it worked step by step down here. But yeah, and it literally created this whole website. Like this is hosted on a subdomain, manus.space, and it's created the home page, the about page. Let's check if the services work as well. Yeah, so it's created the services, and this is all custom tailored to me, right? So it's all personalized to me and what our agency sells, etc. Viresh says, is it free? So far, I've not paid a single penny for this, so it has been completely free. I also have a SOP inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Let me show you how to get access. So if you go inside the classroom here and then go to the SOP section, you'll see my instructions for setting up Open Manus as well. But this is using the live version of Manus. But if you want the free open source version of Open Manus, which is totally separate, then you can set that up using the instructions inside here in the SOP step by step. So you can see exactly how this runs step by step. Let me zoom in for you so it's a bit easier. But basically, step by step, we just say build a website, and then it will just go off. And it's like, right, okay, here's what we're going to do step by step. So it's like, right, I'll help you research Julian Goldie and build a comprehensive website about him. I'll start by gathering information about Julian Goldie, then design and develop a website based on that research and finally deploy it. Let me get started straight away. So it connects to the data source. So it actually goes to LinkedIn, which is pretty wild. So it just went straight to LinkedIn, search people on LinkedIn, search for Julian Goldie, and then you can see what it's done right here. So it can actually run like terminal requests as well. It can host websites. It can actually browse directly inside the chat here as well. So if we go inside the browsing section, it's actually gone to juliangoldie.com and scrolled through the website. And then if we click the forward arrow lines here, you can see what it's interacting with step by step. So it's actually gone to Julian Goldie and also to goldstarlinks.com, which is absolutely wild. And then what it's done is it's basically looked through the information. It's collected the personal information about us, right? So it's like, right, his name's Julian Goldie. He's from Manchester, England. Here's his profession. Here's the company, some professional background information about him. Here's his expertise. And here's the links to his main funnel. So even like calculated how many LinkedIn followers we have, how many YouTube subscribers we have. It actually managed to scrape my my Instagram bio as well. So you can see here it says Instagram bio. And step by step, it just found all this information about me, right? But that's not even the impressive part. Like that's kind of deep research, but it goes way deeper than that. So if we keep scrolling through, it's creating some terminal commands, creating like the page.tsx for the website. Then it actually deploys it. So it's deployed a website right here using the terminal commands. And then it's created the style CSS, the main.js, downloaded the images, added more images, index.html, etc. Right? And then just created this whole website right here. And if we scroll down directly in the chat, we can see that it just created this website right here. It's like, right, great news. I've successfully redesigned and redeployed the Julian Goldie website with a more beautiful and modern design. The website is now live out here. Right? I will be 100% honest. At one point, when it first did the website, it said it created a website and deployed it, but nothing was showing up, right? But then I just said, can you make the design more beautiful, more modern? And just said nothing is showing up when I open it. I was like, right, I apologize about that. We're going to execute the commands, create the files, and then host it, right? And the website that we got back is really, really nice. As you can see, like I could just go live with that website. It's good to go, you know? It's even got like a contact us page where people can like enter the name, email, website, all looks super modern. Plus this is all customized and there's no hallucinations here. Like this is perfect. This is absolutely ready to go. It's even got links to our social media profiles. I didn't ask it to add that, but you can see here it has found and created social media icons with links directly to our profiles, right? Along with our main website, location, email address. Absolutely awesome. So the thing to note here, right, is that this is totally different to something like DeepSeek. DeepSeek, for example, it can do basic stuff, but quite often if you use, for example, the deep search method, if we use exactly the same prompt inside DeepSeek, let me refresh the page for you there. We're going to plug this in and we're going to say, okay, research Julian Goldie, then build and deploy the best possible website you can about him. And again, this was one click, right? Literally all we did was just give it one click and say, right, go off, do that, work your magic, etc. And it did it, right? It actually deployed the website. This is going to go off and create something, but we'll see what it does in a minute. We can also try the same thing on ChatGPT and see how it compares. Bear in mind, like ChatGPT is it's $1 billion company at this point, right? And one of the leaders in the world. But it's probably not going to be able to deploy the website. It can do the research fairly quickly, but we'll see what we get back in a second. Yeah, so look at that, right? We say research Julian Goldie, build and deploy the best possible website about him. Bear in mind, this is the leading AI company in the world, right? Biggest AI company in the world, billions of dollars in revenue generated. I think they're trying to get to like something like $17 billion this year. And also they were talking about launching these $20,000 agents. But if you compare this to Manus, which seems to be free so far, I haven't seen any pricing plans. I don't know whether they're going to charge later. But if you compare this to Manus just goes off and does whatever you want it, right? It's basically, when you think of that scary AI agent that can replace humans, Manus is it. Whereas if you compare that to ChatGPT is still like, it's just not going to go off and do stuff, right? Hasn't deployed the website, hasn't even designed the website, hasn't coded it. It did do the research, but that was it. It literally stopped there. If we compare it to DeepSeek, DeepSeek has done something very basic here. So number one, the search service actually failed completely. So it failed at the first task, so it couldn't do the research. And then also, if we have a look here, it's not deployed the website, and it's not even created any HTML code when we've asked it to, right? So if you compare DeepSeek versus Manus, which actually creates a website, codes it, researches the web, works perfectly first time, and all we have to do is give it one single prompt, the difference is absolutely huge, right? That's the output from Manus. That's the output from DeepSeek. Like, I can't do anything with that. And also, you see here how it says featured projects, and then there's no information here. That doesn't help. If we have a look at ChatGPT, it's not coded the website. Like all these other AI tools that seem like the best in the world now seem absolutely basic, right? Like that, this is not human intelligence level at all. Whereas you look at Manus and you're like, this is better than a human. Like this is AGI level stuff. So it's pretty wild right here. Let's see what we got in the comments so far. So Viresh says, tell us an effective way to use Manus for all software development techs. I'm not a software development tech, but here's the way that I would do it, right? So if I wanted to use Manus for software building, let's say, for example, I'm like, right, okay, I'm an SEO. I want to create the best SEO tool I can. I'm going to say, okay, create and deploy best and most useful tool you can for my SEO agency, Goldie agency. All right. This is, maybe we put, this is for lead generation, something like that. And then what this can do is just go off and start building that out, right? So it's like, right, I'll help you create and deploy a useful SEO lead generation tool for Goldie agency. I'll start working on this right away and keep you updated on my progress, right? Probably take about 15 minutes to go off and do that, but we can come back to it later. Let's see what other stuff we got. Viresh says, build different kind of AI agents with easy explanation and deploy on free platforms. So we've already done that, right? So for example, if we pull this up, we've done that with the website deployment here. This is an AI agent that's gone off and done its magic. The same for this. So what I actually said to Manus was create a 30-day trip for Lower Manhattan in June, right? That's something that an actual AI agent could go off and do. It's something that, for example, you would pay a research assistant or a personal assistant top dollar to do something like this, right? And it's like, right, I'm just going to help you go off and do it. And then you can see it's actually created all these files directly inside here, right? Now, if you ask, for example, ChatGPT to do the same thing, it's not going to be able to create the actual files that are downloadable. So if we open this up, we can see all the attractions in Lower Manhattan specifically that we could go for. And I actually said, like, do it for June, right? And you can see in this list here, if we pull this up, let me find June inside here. So I actually found like some events for June 2025. So for example, like the Governor's Ball Music Festival, dates June 6th to 8th, 2025. So like it's really intelligent stuff. Plus the content itself is not overwhelming. And additionally, it's also giving us some tips for the 30-day stay. It's perfectly formatted. It's all specific for Lower Manhattan, not just for New York. And yeah, it was top level. And that was just one part of it. It also created a comprehensive 30-day trip plan, like you can see, with accommodation options. So it recommended specific areas of Lower Manhattan. It also gave us hotels. So it gave us a hotel breakdown of like, okay, luxury options, mid-range options, and budget-friendly options. Along with that, it gave us some extended stay options. So the Empire Hotel, for example, which comes with 30% off for stays of longer than 7 nights. And it also gave us like some recommendations on how much you're going to spend, etc. Like this is by far the most useful and actionable report I've ever seen from an AI agent. And it's super intelligent stuff. It's even, for example, told us like, okay, these are the toiletries you need to take. These are your packing checklist, cost saving tips, budget ranges, etc. Like really awesome stuff. Kyle says, yo, I want into this program so bad. So the invitation codes are pretty limited right now. But one thing I'd recommend is you go to the AI Profit Boardroom and you check out Open Manus, right? I have the instructions on how to set up the open source version of Manus, which is Open Manus. It's available on GitHub. And I also have a video tutorial that runs you through exactly how to set it up. So if you want to set it up for free using this process, then there's a free SOP on exactly how to set up Manus right there. What else we got? Yeah, Kyle says, this is the most powerful thing I've ever seen. I would agree with you there. I think it's absolutely wild how good it is. It's unbelievable how actionable and practical it is. And yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, for example, here, we can just say, go off and do this. And it actually does it. Like what other AI tool on the planet do you know of that can do that, right? Which tool on the planet do you know that can, number one, go off and code stuff. Number two, deploy it. Number three, connect live to the web. Number four, create files. And number five, give you something that's actually personalized to you and actually is useful, right? I mean, even something like Bolt.new that you normally pay like, top dollar for, if you do the same thing. So if we go to Bolt.new here, which is another paid AI tool, right? And we'll say create and deploy the best and most useful tool. And we're not going to do that one actually. We're going to do the example that actually worked. So this one, research Julian Goldie, blah, blah, blah. And we'll compare the output side by side, right? So this is another sort of AI coding agent that can do similar things and code similar things, but the output I can almost guarantee is not going to be as good, but we can compare them side by side. So we'll come back to that in a minute once Bolt.new is finished coding. And Manus gives response with pictures, absolutely. So here's the other thing about Manus is like, it actually has this ability to browse the web directly, right? So for example, if we go onto the browsing section here, so it's browsingjuliangoldie.com, and you can see how it's actually jumped through step by step on the website. So if we pull this up, pull up the browsing, there's no other AI agent that I know of apart from Claude that can browse the web directly like this, scroll through actual websites, and then give you the preview, right? So you can see, for example, here, it's using its vision and its computer use power to scroll through the web, look through, for example, like LinkedIn profiles like this, and then gather the information we need to complete the task. What else we got here? So OpenManus looks good and it can run local, but not the same abilities as this version of Manus. So you should check out the video tutorial inside the AI Profit Boardroom. It's not as good as Manus, but if you're waiting for an invitation code, and if you need something that can browse the internet, search through, etc., then this is one of the best ways to do it. Carl says, I asked to be on the wish list and join the Discord. Thousands of people are in the Discord. Yeah, from what I actually heard, the Discord is blocked for OpenManus. So if we go onto OpenManus here, Manus AI, some people were telling me they couldn't get into OpenManus anymore. And I haven't seen any more invitation codes come out since the 8th of March, which was 2 days ago, right? So if we scroll through the chat here, literally there's 11,000 people online inside the Discord just waiting for a code. And you can see all the reactions here. Like, people are desperately trying to get access to this stuff, and no one has access really, apart from a few people. And thankfully, I'm one of the lucky few. But that's why I'm testing it for you. I mean, if you want me to actually, for example, test this out for you and give you some prompts, like, just let me know. And if you, a lot of people are asking me for invitation codes, but just go to the AI Profit Boardroom. Number one, because there's an awesome community of people who probably will get invitation codes later. And number two, inside the SAP section here, you can get OpenManus. And OpenManus is the closest thing you're going to get to Manus. It's still better than ChatGPT. Like, for example, if you check ChatGPT and that output we asked for before, it's just nowhere near as good. So we've got the output back from Bolt.new right here. And we can preview this full size, right? So let me show you an example of what Manus did versus Bolt.new, right? Bear in mind, Manus doesn't specialize at this. Bolt.new does specialize at this. Now, they've both deployed to a subdomain, like you can see. But which one would you prefer? If I had to actually click on both of these, I'm going to go with this one, right? And the reason for that is because this one actually funnels traffic to booking in a call, which is what we want from our website, whereas this one is funneling traffic to LinkedIn and to Twitter as well. And number two as well, this is a lot more generic, right? So if you have a look at this, the content itself, we have a look at the page, like how well does this sell us? Well, it's only got 78 words, so it doesn't sell us that great, right? It doesn't say that much information about us. It's very, very brief. If we have a look at this, it's like, who is Julian Goldie? Well, here's his expertise, and here's who he is, right? And it's a lot more in depth, it's a lot more in detail, and it also gives us a lot better research in terms of like, okay, he's had 6 years of experience, he goes into the granular details, he's got a team of 70 people, etc. It's also got an About Us page as well. The other thing to note here is like, if you compare Bolt's output versus Manus, and bear in mind, both of them were one-click AI agents, but if you look at Manus's example, it's actually got a full navigation bar here, and also the design just feels a lot more modern and new, right, in the way that it's created. It's also found information about the book and what the book is, etc. And it's also come up with like a career milestone section here. And the design just looks much more modern if we have a look at it. And then finally, of course, it sells our services as a whole services page. This website right here from bold.new doesn't have a services page at all, right? And so the difference in class is just absolutely outrageous. Like you get so much more from Manus and what it's creating. And a lot of people were saying, Manus is a fake tool, or like they're great at advertising, but the tool doesn't actually do all this stuff. I'm actually I think they've over delivered in terms of what it does. Like this AI agent is better than I expected. I expected to test it out and maybe it'd be interesting, but not that great, etc. It's way smarter than I imagined. It's the closest thing to AGI I've ever seen. Let's be honest. And yeah, some people are saying like it created its own web scraper, which is absolutely amazing. Nicholas says, mate, you should really disclose you're getting paid for promoting these tools. I'm not getting paid to promote this at all, right? I've had zero payment to promote this at all. And usually, honestly, we just promote our own products rather than anything else. Reason that we promote our own products inside these videos is we make more money, right? We turn down like 99.9% of partnership deals. What else we got here? So tell me how to get this website on live. All right. So if you want to get, let's say, for example, you create a website with Manus and you want to get it live, for example, like this one right here. Let's pull this up. Number one, it is live and it is deployed. But if you want to, for example, like get all the files from Manus, like so, let's pull this up. So we're going to grab this. What we can say, I think, is like, just give me the HTML files from this project so I can download and host them. I just want the HTML, CSS, JS. I just want the project folder so I can host it on Netlify. I think you could actually, I'm not going to do this on a live stream, obviously, but I think you could actually, for example, just give Manus your login details to Netlify, and it could probably just go off and host them for you, right? What else we got here? So Carl was asking, can you compare current Google trends with the stock market today and make any reasonable correlation between them? I'm curious what it would put out. All right, let's try this. So we're going to set up a new session here. I think you can run multiple sessions at a time, but I'm not 100% sure. Also, the other thing to note here is like when you start a new session, it's got all these cool templates, right? So you can see here, for example, people asking like, okay, what's the use case? What's the use case? Here's the use case. So it's got all these featured options, and it's got research, life, data analysis, education, productivity, and WTF sections, right? And inside these sections, you can actually just click on one of these. It will just start running the prompt for you directly. You can also switch between standard and high effort. Now, bear in mind what I used before was not even high effort, but you can use a high effort method. You can also attach stuff. So it seems to have like vision built in, so you can attach things too. But yeah, let's start this new session and see what we get. So I'm just going to go with standard, not high effort for now, just because, I don't want the whole video to take absolutely ages. So switch to standard. We'll say now, okay, compare current Google trends with the stock market today and make any reasonable correlation between them. And then we're going to hit enter like so, and we'll see what it does. Now we've also got multiple different AI agents running in the background, right? So if we have a look at here, it's completed the zip files for Netlify, which is great. It's also initializing the sandbox for this method right here in terms of the Google trend and stock reviews. And then inside this chat, it's also thinking in terms of like how to create this SEO lead generation tool for you. It's actually creating a whole website, which is pretty crazy. So the thing to note here is like you can have multiple AI agents running in the background. So when you think about this, it's like you can have a whole team of employees working for you, which is pretty wild when you think about that. It's like, let's say you tell John to go off and do the research. You got Mary who's going off and creating the code. You got Simon who's, he's getting distracted on his lunch break. Well, inside Manus, you have a whole team, but you don't need to pay them all, right? And you don't need to, for example, give individual instructions. You don't need to quality control everything. You've got these AI agents running in the background like a team. And instead of paying like, $2,000 to $10,000 for each employee, you can just have AI agents just go off into the world and do their magic for you, right? How terrifying is that, by the way? Like, when this gets out to the world, how many companies are going to replace their employees with something like this, right? If you have a virtual assistant, if you have, for example, a personal assistant, right? Anything that's related to online work, whether it's coding or deploying websites or SEO, etc., you could, in theory, get this AI agent to do it for you. The only thing that I can't see this AI agent doing is interacting with other people. So if you have something where you're doing inhuman experiences, or, for example, if you have tasks where you are connecting with other people, for example, like link building outreach, you're not going to be able to automate that with these AI agents. But everything else where, people are just going off into their own silos and doing their own magic, this is what Manus is super powerful for. So let's see how we're getting on with this process right here. Seems to be doing its magic. So let's have a look at Google Trends. I'm going to take these files right here and just show you how to get them hosted. So if we download this, we've got the zip file right there, which is great. And then if we go over to Netlify, we're going to add a new site, import an existing project, try Netlify drop, and we'll just grab that project folder with the files like so. So we can just deploy the website onto Netlify. Like you can see, we'll just wait for it to be deployed here. And then hopefully that should be good to go. Yeah, it works perfectly. All right. So if we open this up, this is the project from Manus. Open up the production deploy. We can see the website is hosted on Netlify now, right? So we've got that website hosted fully. And then if we go to domain management, add a domain, buy a new domain, and then we'll say, okay, JulianGoldieSEO.com. Search for that right now. We've got a bunch of domains, and if we just buy one of these, it's going to be automatically hosted as a project directly to Netlify. So it's just incredibly easy as well to build websites out. And, something that you would normally pay an agency like tens of thousands of dollars to do, you can easily automate with Manus and its AI agents. So it's terrifying, but it's super powerful at the same time. So let's come back to Manus now. It does encounter issues, like you see. So it said, I've encountered a rate limiting issue with the Google Trends API. This is common, but it focuses on solutions, not problems. So it's just going to go off and figure out something else instead. Now, if we come back to Manus, it's still creating the tool and it's moving on to testing the functionality. So it's running the terminal right there. Pretty cool. And then Google Trends thinking as well. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get access to the SOP for Manus, feel free to get that. That's inside the SOP section of the AI Profit Boardroom. Just go to the classroom and then Manus AI, and you'll see the full SOP right here, along with how to set up Open Manus if you don't have an invitation code yet. Top of that, you'll get inside here all of my best trainings on like email content automation, social media, AI agents, web automation, AI SEO automation, Q&A call recordings, SOPs, and a crash course, right? This is basically guaranteed to save you time and make more money with AI. Top of that, if you ever get stuck, you can ask questions inside the community. We have 319 members ready to help you. And if you want to get help directly on a call, just join the weekly calls and the Q&As right here. And if you can't make the Q&As, it's okay because we record it. Feel free to get that link in the comments description. And if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session that shows you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visitors a month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales and autopilot, feel free to get that on this free link building acceleration session. You'll get a free SEO domination plan, custom tailored so you can generate more lead sales and profits. You'll discover the secrets to SEO link building, answer any questions you have one-to-one, and you'll learn the best link building strategy for your website. Plus, how to outrank your competitors based on what's working for us and our happy clients, like you can see right here. Feel free to get that link in the comments and description. Appreciate you watching and see you on the next one. Bye-bye.